And it's a great pleasure to introduce Dianne Legge, who is a brain tumour care coordinator at the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Centre, as well as a PhD student at the University of Curtin, who is going to speak with us today about the work that she has undertaken as part of her master's program on social processes of renegotiating identity with low-grade glioma. So over to you, Di.
Great. Thank you, Harry, and thank you for the opportunity to present this work. So this work was undertaken as part of my master's a number of years ago, looking into the social processes of renegotiating identity with low-grade glioma. And this started as a curiosity. How do people get on with the business of living in the face of a low-grade glioma? I knew a lot about supporting people with high-grade glioma, and so thought being diagnosed with a low-grade glioma would be simple, quite straightforward. So when a colleague and I went to visit someone many years ago, two families on a Friday afternoon, we thought, oh, they're only a low-grade, this would be simple. So nothing could have been further from the truth. So with that, I decided to devote some time and energy into understanding how people accommodate this diagnosis, how they make sense of it, how they live, and how they build their resources. So I conducted 13 semi-structured interviews as part of a qualitative interpretive study. My group were aged sort of 20 to 65, mix of male, female, rural, metropolitan, from the eastern states of Australia. My study analysis described a biographic disruption caused by a low-grade glioma. I was able to describe 3 distinct yet interrelated social processes: dealing with contradiction, defining time, and renegotiating identity. The dealing with contradictions was centred around the ambiguous clinical context of low-grade glioma treatment at the time, and also the language clinicians used to describe and relate information. Second, that this diagnosis was really a defining time for people diagnosed. It really marked a point in time in their lives where things changed, pathways were veered off, and people spent time taking stock of their values, their resources, and their life. And the third process was renegotiating identity. Renegotiating identity and the subconcept of taking control signifies a transition from patient to person, where individuals seek out active choices, increase personal agency, and take the lead in managing their care needs. It takes time for understanding the resources and navigating relationships and working out what they need to help them in the longer term. And it can also mean that they need to carefully manage the information that they're exposed to, which can be quite unhelpful, and also perhaps minimising their condition in order to balance moving forward in the context of uncertainty. Making connections was also an important subcontext discussed by study participants. People talked about the importance of connecting with people like me, whether it was through support groups or programs, peer discussions, or online forums. It was important that stories were exchanged, comparisons made and considered, appraisals, and also strategies learned. People who get you, people who understand your challenges without the need for explanation or judgment. And the final piece in the puzzle was creating a good life. People finding a way to create the life for themselves with this illness in the context of their values and personal beliefs. People set goals, they built routines to help propel them towards their desired purpose. People actively looked for opportunities that would give them a sense of meaning and purpose. The learnings from this work has really given rise to some important issues to focus on, and that's survivorship resources and health professional practice. This work has, through the Brain Cancer Mission, there's been a lot of work being done on models of practice and interventions focusing on self-management and skill development, and you'll hear about some of those later on today. This work has also given rise to a co-designed resource, Building the Bridge to Life with Brain Cancer, and this is currently being updated to look at a national audience. There is also some work to be done around our use of ambiguous terminology and understanding the impact that our language has on those that we care for and those that we work with. And this work will form part of my PhD program over the next 3 to 4 years. Thank you for listening.